Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Give honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa'akwa, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. And then the video to the Spirit, and Brother Malak from GMS Detroit. Got this little military video. Hey, we should know the scriptures about how America's military is going to perform, right? Very poorly. But what I want to do with this video, Esau Edom, another one of the pieces, or another one of the tools that he uses to control the world, is his media manipulation machine. He has many people believing things that simply are not true. And one of them right now is the fighting power of the American military. Back in the day, they might have been hardcore. Back in the day, they might have been kick-ass. But right now, they a bunch of people that just are trying to get some money. A bunch of people who are not sexually straight. You understand what I'm saying? The military is not what it used to be. And anybody who really knows this country knows that. But now I'm going to let this clip play, and they'll have you think that this is still, 90, Delta Force operation. Boy, it ain't like that. Them boys in there are sassy and sissy. So let me let this play. We'll get some other clips just showing you that things are not as they seem. And that's in the scriptures, actually. The fact that going into this war, y'all, Esau's going to try to downplay some of the damage that he's going to receive. And that's 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. All right, so let's let this play. We'll get some scriptures.
Why are U.S. soldiers better than European soldiers? In Afghanistan, there was a common European saying, "You better pray that you have an American in your unit." It's quite interesting why Europeans wanted to have Americans on their team. A French soldier wrote about his extraordinary experience with American soldiers in Afghanistan. Americans were taller and stronger than Europeans. The average American soldier is strong, very strong. In our base, the weakest American was stronger than the strongest soldier in the French units, and was also stronger than most other European soldiers. Also, every European unit has that one person who is just a waste of air, the general screw-up of the unit. With the Americans...
Now this, I will say, Americans don't, I believe the average American height is like 5'6", 5'7", or something like that. But I do know in the Army, in particular, they like to put the taller guys, in the forefront of the combat situations to invoke fear in the enemy. So it's not that Americans are necessarily taller, it's just that, they tend to put those taller soldiers 6 feet and up, out there on that battlefield, crazy. And then they do, they lift a lot of weights in the American military. I will give them that. I got guys that I train with, former friends from school while they're in the military, benching 3, deadlifting 5, and they come back out here a regular civilian and get back weak and flat. America has good potential, right? But are they really on this? Are they still on this level of performance? Let's see.
Could not find the general screw-up. Americans had a unique way of making the best out of average. Their basic training is the best in the world. But when bullets started flying and your unit was in trouble, you prayed that an American unit took up the radio call for help. Why? When American forces picked up the call, there was no hesitation. Their reply was, "Sit tight, we are coming to get you." And they meant every single word. There wasn't any haggling or logistical issues. The Americans would use everything they had for your rescue, and then some more. The Americans were truly fully committed to your rescue. They came regardless of what the situation was, no matter how bad or how unusual. In fact, they wouldn't ask about your situation. They heard you needed rescue, and that was all that mattered. They did not need to ask about the situation anyway. With the best gear, satellites, and training, when they got close to your position, they knew about threats in the area, where the unfriendliest were, and how best to deal with the situation. Surprisingly, they knew it even better than the actual unit under fire. He also described one amazing fact. In all other forces, if an officer was taken out, you're taught to dig in and take take a defensive position, or simply retreat, not the Americans. If Americans lose their officer, they do not stop. They go on the attack. With every fiber of their bodies, Americans want, or even need, revenge. Most of the time, American officers restrain the troops under their command, not for the troops' protection, but for the enemy's. If you injure an American, they are coming for you, and very little will save you. The medical training also sets Americans apart. Every American soldier seems to have advanced first aid skills that European forces reserve for their medics. A British sergeant recalled how an American private saved his life. I was hit by shrapnel in my leg when this young American appeared from nowhere. He had a tourniquet on me in seconds and was administering battlefield medicine that our own medics would struggle with, all while maintaining security and calling in support. Just a regular infantryman doing what was apparently standard for them. The most telling difference was how local Afghans reacted to different forces. Village elders could immediately tell the difference between American and European patrols. When Americans entered a village, the atmosphere changed. As one interpreter explained, the combatants fear Americans. Europeans they will attack if they can get an advantage. Americans they avoid completely. The villagers know this, because even the combatants think twice. This reputation wasn't built on brutality, but effectiveness. When Americans said they would destroy you, the destruction was absolute and certain, and everyone, friend and enemy alike, knew it.
So the Americans built up a reputation for themselves, right? And this promo would have you think they're untouchable, glazing them, as the young folks say today. Now, let me play you another clip. Let's see what they is actually up to nowadays. So let me pull up this clip, then we'll get some scriptures here in a second. Is America still that big bad wolf? I don't know.
Put your hands down.
Believers judge.
Put your hands down.
Right.
Don't worry, we got you. Let's go. Say something. Where are you? Open them. Open them. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Open. What do you need?
Ow.
What do you need?
Ah!
What do you need?
Oh my God.
What do you need?
Ow. I need assistance.
Let's go.
I
Get
need
inside.
help.
Get inside. Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go.
go. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Open. You can do it.
Oh shit.
Open. Let's go. Open. Keep it. Let's go. Get inside. Let's go. Open your eyes. Get in there. Get in there. Good. Good.
4, 5, 6. Believers judge.
Oh my God. What happened to them big scary white boys with them guns? See, this is what this place is devolved to. And this goes to show you as the years have gone by, decay has taken every facet of America. The infrastructure, the finances, and literally the masculinity of the men. And you don't got time for sissy boys in war. Oh my God. They trying to, at least he got some push-ups in, but damn, the boy's so, he got so much fruit in the water. Boy can't, they say, man, open your eyes, nigga. Stand up. What's your name, boy? What is movie is that? You a man or you a boy? He's so sissied out. Hey, they're not what they used to be. So when this war pops off, y'all, America's not going to be able to pull away the victory like how they're used to. Isaiah, let me get this out of 14. This is not the nation that it once used to be, and the heathen know that. Isaiah 14. Where is it at? Yep. Okay, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me merge onto this freeway. Show these whippersnappers how to do it. Goddamn Michigan motherfuckers. Isaiah 14 and 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. So this place is broken, y'all. Spiritually, and it's going to come physically at its collapse. The oppressor is no longer the big baddie of the earth no more. That's why the nations are ready to stand up against him. All right, I'm going to jump down to verse 10 now. It says, all they all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought. Oh, well, so verse 10, the nations can see that the heathen nations can see that America is not at the strength that it used to be. Although it's still the whore upon the beast, right? It's still a ruling power. It's not as powerful as it used to be. And the heathen can see that. And one of the ways you can see it in is literally the men of the military, right? Like they say, the American military men used to strike fear wherever they went. Now these boys is you know, you gonna smell a perfume on them and see they bedazzle purse on the way in. That ain't nothing, boy. Wick, man, did y'all see that video that came out some months ago with that Russian and Ukrainian fighting to the death in a knife fight? All right, that's what goes down in war. You know, he goddamn, when he got done, he put a grenade under his vest and blew that boy goddamn boots off. These sissy boys ain't ready for that, and the nations can see that. That's why the chess pieces are being put on the board to get ready to go. Verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Right? America's infrastructure is falling apart, degrading. Verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Right. So once again, the heathen can see that Esau Edom, which is the king here by way of America, he's in a weakened estate in every sense of the word, especially the military boys. And where else do we see that? We see that in Jeremiah. As this World War III gets closer, y'all. Now they're gonna fight in it, don't get me wrong. They're also gonna try to fight against Yahushua, as prophecy states, but they're not going to pull home the victory as they're used to doing, and as we've been brainwashed to believe in all of these movies, TV shows, right? All this media, you know, the big, tall, strong, blonde, white male, Edomite, you know, he's coming to save the day with a machine gun in one hand and a cigarette in the other, and a white bitch in a other hand, some damn where he done mustard. That shit is not reality, y'all. When the fucking world is falling apart, ain't no Tom Cruise coming to save the day. Sylvester Stallone. Ain't no and which some of these dudes could be Jake, but that's not the point. But ain't no what's my nigga's name? I always forget his name. The bald motherfucker who played in Die Hard. Why do I always forget his fucking name? I've been doing this for like 10 years. I keep forgetting that bald head motherfucker's name. Y'all know he played in Die Hard. He played in Unbreakable. Why do I always forget his fucking name? I'm gonna just keep going. Ain't no Ben Affleck coming. Ain't no Jason Statham coming. Ain't no Brad Pitt coming. None of that. How does it describe the men that are going to try to fight of America? Jeremiah 51 and 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They became as women. They have burned their dwelling places. Her bars are broken. So the mighty men of Babylon, y'all, they're going to be stricken with fear. They're not going to be on that level that they may have been, 20 years ago when them towers fell and everybody was geeked up and wanted to go kill them an Arab to get revenge. That spirit is gone. Niggas, bills is due, baby mama drama, depressed, all these afflicted spirits out here. The last thing they want is fucking war. All right, and that's so now let me get this. I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to come do it. I always forget his fucking name, y'all. I don't know. I've been forgetting this dude's name. Bruce fucking Willis, man. Come on, man. Ain't no Bruce Willis coming to save the day from Hans, right? I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to come do that real quick. I've been forgetting this dude's name for literally like the past 15, 20 years of my fucking life. Hey, whatever. Alright, so really I just got one more scripture and I'll end it on this one. This ain't gonna be that long of a video. Second Edges 15, want to show you some. All right, you have the verses, like 30 some through 40 some. This is dealing with World War III that's coming, right? The nations gathering together, especially Ishmael and Elam, right? They're going to be getting ready to fight against America. And one of the verses in particular, I want to get, let me see. Where's it at? Give me 1 second, y'all. Yep, okay. Second Edges, we'll start at, this is 15. It lets us know, about the dragon of Arabia, or dragons of Arabia, dealing with Ishmael, the Carmanians, dealing with Elam. They're going to be coming to fight against this bitch, America. Verse 31, it says, so 2 Edges 15 and 31, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand. So at some point in this war, y'all, Ishmael and them and the gang, they're going to have the upper hand. They're going to be they're going to be going balls to the walls on the American soldiers. It says have the upper hand, remembering their nature. What's the nature of Ishmael? Going back to Genesis. What? He's wild, a wild man. All right? And he shall be in the midst of his brethren. They're going to all team up and gang up and go crazy. That's why even still today, they haven't been able to get a full threshold on Iran. You see, they had to pull out, out of the East a couple years back, and they left all those weapons under Biden's administration. All the Iran, Afghanistan, or Iraq, as they'll say. They'll get pissed if you say Iraq. They've been fighting the Russians, right? They've been fighting British. They've been fighting. Them boys is battle hardened. They're going to pull through. The Lord going to give them the spirit to fight hard. It says, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. So y'all, they're going to be whooping some ass, some American ass. Verse 32, the point. Then these shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. Who is that dealing with? America. They're going to be getting their tails whooped. And it says what? Keep silence through their power. They're going to be trying to suppress the casualties by way of the media manipulation machine. Right? And as we just saw with the first YouTube video, they tried to play, upplay the American soldiers like there's still some unkillable. Boy, these Americans, you got grown men in the military and them barracks blowing, you know what I'm saying? They are not on that level they used to be. So when this war is cracking and Americans is getting their shits pushed in, war speak, they're not going to report the devastating losses accurately. And that's a common thing with Edom. He never wants to tell the truth. He likes to underplay his own negative statistics, and he loves to overplay everybody else's. That's why he'll have you thinking, black people, the 13% of the population, committing the majority of the crimes. That's simply not true, nigga. If 100% of all the Negroes in America committed crimes, if all 100% of that 13% committed all the crimes, we'd still be doing less than half the crimes in this country. So-called white people make up 40% of America. 13 times 2 is 26. We're still at less than half. Come on, bro, stop it. So, bring all that out to say that Esau's going to be getting his tail whooped. This military is not what it used to be, as we just saw with them sissies. They're not going to be able to pull through this time, y'all. The sun's setting on Babylon. So, that's it. Let me give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachachodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim. Wa'akwath, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom.